Leah, this is spectacular. I'm looking at it in Safari for the Macintosh. Under Develop tab, I can scroll down to View Source and look at your code too. I can live preview while I examine your code. So I noticed that you've graduated to external CSS. That's the objective. I want to be sure that it's clear in your mind the usefulness of inline styling, and then it looks like you have both a reference to an exterior style sheet, but also it looks like you have an embedded style sheet where you are using the div tag and the container tag to place images or ingredients on your page. It's quite advanced. This is all your coding, I'm assuming, or snippets that you've cut up. Now you're going to want to graduate to a completely external style sheet, and just know that if you have a embedded style sheet and an external style sheet, it's the embedded style sheet that will take precedence, just as in inline styling will take precedence over any kind of style sheet. So use them carefully and don't double up on style sheets. Hope that's clear to you. I see that you have the unordered list for your navigation. Hey, I wanted to point out some things that GeoCities does. If you wondered what this script was, and it begins here. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. It is a script that GeoCities places on your page by default. It's to make your pages visible and searchable. And also, I'm sure you noticed that down here, GeoCities is placing this little message there. Nothing is truly for free, right? Lots of good comments, meta comments. Or not lots, but are there meta comments? Not too many. You have been calling on the corporate typeface. I like the navigation bar arranging at the top there, embedded images. While this isn't the corporate typeface, it is a non-standard typeface. It looks good. You might consider trying to get the corporate typeface in there, which I believe is Athelas. Last thing is you've got a footer with social media links on it. Good going for that. And other things appropriate for the footer are, as you say, copyright information. You might consider putting an HTML sitemap or a link to one there. That's typically in a footer. And revision dates, when the site is revised, belong there too. You have met or exceeded really the the requirements of the rubric, which were pretty simple. Let's see what they were. They were, have you applied styling to a heading? And yes, yes you have. Maybe not to a heading specifically, but to text. And have you been able to upload it? And with a vengeance, you've been able to do that too. So good going on the inline styling. Just that you jumped ahead to cascading style sheets. I won't fault you for that. Just be sure you understand about the other kinds of styling. Now, Leah, I see this, this is unusual. It's not what I would, immediately it comes to mind when I think of a visual sitemap, but I get the idea that these are pages and these are their ingredients. I'm thinking something a little bit more visual, a branching diagram perhaps, that shows how your site is structured. So I'll have to say that, that needs a little bit of improvement. Now, I see that you've got folders and files. I'm assuming that this is taken off your PC. Make sure that you can do the same thing on your web server. I'm going back here. I see the URL is you're making index.html being this first page. This shows me enough competence that you can organize your server so that you're not overwriting every HTML each week. I hope that makes sense, but that's a little challenge for you. All right, so the rubrics asks two things. Have you included a sitemap? And you have, but it's a little bit confusing to me, and it's not coded. I'd like to see an unordered list, which you have in your web page that has become your navigation. I'm a little torn there. I'm going to say that you're proficient in your file management structure. Just figure out a way so that you're not overwriting index.html. Leah, this was meant to be a journal entry, and that suggests to me, not a huge amount of detail, and so this is fine. You devise some questions to ask both the client and as well as the focus group, and you have characterized your demographic. So good going on that. Only thing that I would suggest is you research some technological ways to conduct market research. You suggested a few. Some that I can think of are Nielsen, U.S. Census, tools like WebMonkey are good for surveys among focus groups. You might also consider Google Analytics. I look forward to seeing how your website shapes up. You have a firm grasp of the principles up to now. You're able to FTP, and it looks like you are well on your way to using some of the advanced formatting features to position ingredients precisely. Good going.